You believe your doctor was careless, and now you're thinking about bringing a lawsuit against this careless doctor and hospital staff. Does where you live make a difference on where you might be able to bring your particular lawsuit? Would you like to know the answer? Come join me for a walk around the neighborhood as I share with you the answer to that question. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. The answer is, yes, it does. In today's video, I'm talking about venue, which means where, if you have a valid case, where can you go ahead and bring a lawsuit on your behalf? Where, what county in the state of New York, what county can you go ahead and bring a lawsuit? And importantly, does it matter? The answer is yes and yes. Now, what do I mean? You believe that your doctor was careless and caused you significant harm and injury. You've now gone to the best attorney you can find who does a detailed and thorough investigation. It takes him many, many months to accumulate all of your medical records and then to find the best medical expert they can to review your records. And the conclusion that the expert has reached is, yes, you have a valid case. Yes, your doctor was careless. He violated the basic standards of medical care, which caused you significant harm and injury. So now you are trying to decide, okay, where can I bring my lawsuit? Let's say you live in the Bronx, but your care and treatment occurred in Manhattan. Where do you bring your lawsuit? Now, these types of medical malpractice cases are brought in state court as opposed to federal court. In state court, there are many different counties within the state of New York, and there are very specific rules about where we can and cannot bring a lawsuit on your behalf in state court. So, for example, let's say you live in the Bronx, and now all of your treatment occurred in the Bronx. Let's say all of your doctors and the hospital where you were treated occurred in the Bronx, and that everybody involved in your particular case is located physically within the Bronx County. And let's say we also do a search to determine where the doctors who treated you also live in the Bronx. So everybody involved in your particular matter is in the Bronx. So where do you think is the best place to bring a lawsuit on your behalf? The answer, most likely, is the Bronx. We would start a case in Bronx County. Now, let's turn it around. Let's say instead you live in the Bronx, but you received medical care and treatment at a hospital in Manhattan. Now, all the doctors who treated you are in Manhattan. All the doctors' offices where you received medical care and treatment were in Manhattan. The hospital where you received treatment was also in Manhattan. So now, where can you bring a lawsuit, assuming you have a valid case? Where can you bring a case? Can you bring it in the Bronx? Can you bring it in New York County, which is Manhattan? The answer is yes and yes. So which of those counties are right for you? Is Bronx County a better choice for you? Is New York County a better choice for you? And there are pros and cons to each and every one. Now, let's change it up a bit. Let's say, for example, you live in the Bronx and your medical care and treatment occurred in Brooklyn, but at the same time, the doctors who treated you live in Manhattan. Can you bring a lawsuit in the Bronx? Can you bring a lawsuit in Brooklyn? Can you bring a lawsuit in New York County, in Manhattan? The answer is yes, yes, and yes. Now, you can't bring 3 separate lawsuits, one in each county. You have to bring only one lawsuit. And importantly, when you start your case, we as the attorneys are required to identify and state why we are bringing this case in this particular county. We have to state the reason why we are in this particular county as opposed to any other county. What happens, though, if we make a mistake? What happens if we choose a particular county to start your lawsuit in, and we don't meet the necessary criteria to be in that county? Let's say you live in somewhere upstate New York, right? Let's say you live in Rockland County, and now all the treatment you had was in Westchester County, and you decide, you know what? I think we should be in the Bronx, so let's go ahead and start the case in Bronx County. And now you start a lawsuit in Bronx County, and the defense attorney wants to see, why did you bring this case in Bronx County? What connection do you have to the Bronx in this particular instance? Did you receive treatment in Bronx County? No, you were in Westchester. How about the defense? How about the defendants, the people whom you have sued? where did they provide the treatment? Well, in this case, it was Westchester. Okay, is there any connection? Is there any relationship? We call it, is there any nexus to the Bronx? If the answer is no, guess what, my friend? You have chosen the wrong county. Now, what does that really mean for you? I'll tell you what it means. It means you're in the wrong place. So although you may have started your lawsuit in Bronx County, and now discovery has started in your particular case, and you've been assigned a judge to handle and oversee your particular matter, if the defense recognizes, and they will, that you have chosen a county that is incorrect, now they are going to do everything possible to remove your case from this county and now ship it off to their choice. And now the defense is going to have to choose, and will choose, a county that in all likelihood is not going to be as favorable to you and your particular circumstances. Now you might be thinking, why does the defense get to choose? Well, here's how it works. Because you, as the injured patient, as the injured victim, you have the ability to choose, assuming you have the correct criteria, in which county you are going to bring your lawsuit in, assuming you have multiple options. If you choose the wrong one, now the opportunity to move the case falls to the defense. And now they will get to choose and explain to the court why they believe that your case is in the wrong county. And now they will have to explain where they believe the case should be brought. So they will show to the judge through what's called a motion, which is really nothing more than a formal written request to the judge that says, hey, judge, Mr. Oginski and his client have started this lawsuit in the wrong county. And here's why. None of the treatment occurred in this particular county in the Bronx. There is no connection. There is no nexus to the Bronx County, and therefore they have chosen incorrectly. And because of that, it is now our opportunity to pick the location where this case really should be. And now they will explain that all the doctors who treated you are in Westchester County or in Rockland County, and guess what? We want the case transferred to that location. And in all likelihood, the court is going to agree, which means your case will then be formally transferred, administratively transferred to another county, and now you'll have to start over from scratch in that new county. So why do I share this quick information? I share it with you because most people never even think of or even consider the ramifications about where their lawsuit is started. They often will think that because they live in a particular county, that means that's where they can go ahead and start a lawsuit. And in most instances, that would be correct. Where the medical care occurred in a different county, or the doctors live in a different county, now you have different options on where to go ahead and bring the case. And as long as you meet all the strict criteria necessary for you to go ahead and bring a case in a different county, now you should be able to overcome any effort by the defense to turn around and say, hey, judge, this case should be transferred to a different county for the following reasons. You know, I recognize you're likely watching this because you have questions or concerns about your own matter. Well, if your matter did happen in New York and you have not yet started a lawsuit but are thinking of doing so and have questions that need to be answered, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. You know, I answer questions like yours every single day, and I'd love to chat with you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at Oginski-law.com. Well, that's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a fantastic day.